What's up everyone? In this video I'm going to talk about the Sigma 35 1.4 ART. This lens was released back in 2012 for $900 brand new. And I bought mine back in 2020 for about $400. And if you're lucky or you're patient, you can find one between $350 and $400 depending on the condition it's in. Also, this is the first version. The newest version is called the 35 1.4 DG. And this lens has been my main lens since I bought it with my Nikon D3. I've been looking for this lens for the longest time, and when I found it, I also found a Nikon D3, and when I paired those two together, it was amazing. I just really love this combo. The 35mm lens is definitely a focal length that's really challenging for some photographers. I don't know if it's challenging, but it is a tough choice between this lens and the 50mm 1.8 lens. So if you have a 35mm lens, comment below and share your experiences with it. And I do know that a lot of photographers do choose between the 35 and the 50. I see a lot of those questions. Personally, I would choose the 35 over the 50 just because it fits more of my style. I love using it for car shows, for portraits, for wedding events. I just love using the 35 ART. It's just a magical lens. When I pair it on with my Nikon Z6 or the D700, magic just happens. That's how good this lens is. I can't really explain it. Take a look at these photos like from a recent wedding I did. It was just amazing. I can't get these kinds of photos from my 24 to 70 f4 because it's an f4 lens, but with the f1.4 it is magical. I just really like using this lens for weddings and events I go to. And I think that this lens is just perfect for full frame cameras just because it's just wide enough where you don't have to really move around. You don't have to move back. You can get close with the subject as well. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do love the 50. That 50mm 1.8 is perfect for new photographers, but I feel like to move on from the 50 to the 35, I feel like you have to graduate with the 50. That's what I did. I went from the 50 to the 35 because that was more of my style. For the past 4 years, that 35 has been my favorite lens to use. And comparing both the 35 and the 50, those two definitely give you a different style of look for your pictures. As you can see here, here's a shot with my 50 1.8, and here's another shot with the 35 1.4 ART. As you can see, these two side by side, they do give you two different styles of like your style photography. So let's just get to the specs real quick. It has a 67mm filter thread. The maximum aperture is f1.4. The minimum aperture is f16. And just going to one of the good things I really like about this lens is that it is sharp wide open. It's what really surprised me. I didn't have to go to like f2, but even at f2, it gets really sharp. At f1.4, check these out. You can just see in the eyes, it's actually quite sharp. And another thing I really like about this lens too that was really surprising when I first used it is that it's actually pretty fast for autofocusing, and the noise from the autofocus isn't too bad too. And another great thing I really like about this lens is that it creates a very creamy bokeh. And it's not really a bad thing, it's just me nitpicking, it's the size. It is a bulky lens, but for f1.4 lens, it's expected. And another thing is just nitpicking about this lens is it's not weatherproof, so just be wary that if you are out where it's raining, it might get damaged from that. Another thing, if you are recording, definitely use an external mic, because if you are recording from the camera without an external mic, it will catch the autofocus noise when you are recording. So overall, I can see why this 35 1.4 ART is getting praised on a lot. It's sharp at f1.4 and so on. And this lens will work on all Nikon DSLRs. So if you have like a Nikon D40, a Nikon D200, a Nikon D3000, D5000, D7000, it will work on all those Nikon DSLRs. And if you put this on a crop sensor, it's going to become a 52mm focal length just because of the crop factor. This lens has been my main go-to for videos. I just love the look it produces. Here's just a few examples from my Nikon Z6 with the 35 ART here. So I can see why a lot of people really praise this lens, especially for a 10 plus year old lens. Don't let the age really scare you away because this lens still holds up. You can still find a handful of these for well under $900. Like I said earlier, I bought mine used for $400 and it was still in decent shape. And if you can't really afford the newest version, I still think this version, the first version, is still really capable. So if you do find one for under $350, I would not hesitate to get it. I would get it right away, especially if you're still looking for one. I do have a portraits video that I did with my Nikon D3 with this lens on my channel, so you can check that out too. And if you have any questions about this lens, leave a comment and I'll try my best to answer. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe. That would really help my channel. I will have links in the description below on where you can purchase this lens too. And I am an Amazon affiliate, so if you click on it, I really appreciate your support. And I just want to say thanks for you watching. And again, I'll try my best to help if you have any questions with this lens. I just want to say thanks for watching. See ya.